let's talk about one of the most underappreciated ships and characters, and that is Kalia. But first, we're gonna dissect Kalmar and Merrily and why I absolutely hate that ship. So if you didn't know, over half of the Wingfeather Saga fandom ships Merrily and Kalmar. I could go on to a full 3-hour rant about why this ship makes absolutely no sense. But I'm just gonna give you a few points. First of all, they interacted for a chapter. 2, maybe. Kalmar and his family left. They did not see each other again for the rest of the series. Number 2, Merrily does not need to be shipped with anybody whatsoever. She's finally discovering love with Gammon in a familial father-daughter type of way. Is that not enough? That is beautiful to me. Not every character needs to be shipped with somebody. I do not see Merrily in a romantic relationship for a long time. Let her discover what love is before we try throwing her in a romantic ship, because it doesn't fit. And now, bringing me into my segue of Kalia, one of the most beautiful ships in the Wingfeather Saga, and no one talks about it, ever. So if you did know, Kalmar does have a canon love interest. Her name is Galia. So let's talk about this beautiful character that everyone ignores. If you remember in books 3 and 4, then there was a Fang in the dungeon named Nuzzard. They used Nuzzard as an example to this is what Kalmar's going to turn into, etc. Nuzzard drove Kalmar crazy because he could smell it and hear her in the dark. She drove him crazy because that's who he thought he was going to become. And in book 4, Kalmar went into the dungeon and carried Nuzzard out. He cradled her in his arms and took care of her. He showed love to her when nobody else would. When everyone treated her like a monster, he opened up and was like, no, give her to me, be careful with her, don't hurt her. My heart! Then, after Janner died and Kalmar was naming his people, then Galia came up and fell at his feet and said, my king, thank you so much, you rescued me in the dungeon. He helped her to her feet and said, call me Cal. The reason this detail is important is because Janner called Kalmar Cal. And that was kind of his nickname for him. Yeah, some of the other characters called Kalmar Cal too, but that was primarily the nickname that Janner gave his little brother. And after he died, Kalmar always wanted to remember a part of Janner, which is why he told her to call him that. And then he gave her her name. He said, how does Galia sound? Then, this is from Kalmar's point of view at this point, it says in the book, she was beautiful. And a couple years later, Andrew Peterson confirmed that she is his love interest in The Warden and the Wolf King. I know a lot of people don't like shipping him with anybody, and I understand that to the highest level. Just pick one. You have options.